Hi, welcome to this episode of Tye Food. Got a little tongue-tied. Anyways, I got Shiloh here helping me, and we're going to work on my homemade mac and cheese sauce. Now, it's not entirely homemade. I am going to cheat a little. But I could make it homemade if I really wanted to. But I find it just easier to cheat a little. So we got a family-sized jar of Ragu double cheddar. And we're going to open this up, and of course it didn't pop because I already opened it. Get it ready to go. And we're going to dump this into here. And at this point we want to turn our temperature on to simmer. Just under the number rating there. And I'm going to pour 1 8-ounce cup of milk into my jar. Now this is going to help thin the sauce out for when we add the cheese to it, and it's going to rinse the jar. It's kind of like a twofold type thing. And just shake this around. Get all that extra cheese sauce out of it as best as possible. And go ahead and pour that in. You can take your spoon there, kiddo, and start stirring it. I'm going to set this in the sink, and since I stuck my hand in the cheese sauce a little bit, I'm going to rinse it off here. Now in the background here, just giving my pasta a stir and checking on it. I got my timer set. I got about another 5 minutes here on the pasta. What we got is, well, if somebody says Barilla, you're right, because the box is right here. It's the Barilla Salentini, and you can see it's a corkscrew style pasta. I'll let the kids choose which pasta they wanted me to make. So that's what we got there. Now while he's stirring that, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of, you guessed it, my roasted garlic paste. Now let's get that mixed in good, Shiloh. And shouldn't have too much trouble mixing this in, being that it's garlic paste. And it'll incorporate nicely there. Just want to make sure I got it all off the spoon. Yep, it happens, kiddo. Just be careful when you're doing it, okay? Clean that up a little bit here. Who doesn't spill when they cook? If you're not spilling, you ain't doing it right. That's all I can say. Or you've got too much experience doing it, maybe. That could be too. Alright, I'm going to set this off to the side because I'm going to want that for some pasta water. While he's doing that, I'm going to get the cheese ready to go. I've got a Colby Monterey Jack cheese, and I've got a Cabot Seriously Sharp cheese. I want the extra sharpness of the cheddar in this, and I'm just going to open these up, cut it in half here. Doing it about half so we can go right into the food processor easily here without too much trouble. Put that back out of my way. And I'm not going to get it exactly in half, and that's alright. But we're going to use both blocks, and these are 8-ounce blocks, so we're adding a whole pound of cheese to this. Because, I mean, after all, it's macaroni and cheese, not macaroni and a little bit of cheese sauce. And while he's doing that, I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of onion powder. What do we got this on here? It's on simmer, just like I wanted. Okay, we're going to turn it down just a touch, kiddo, okay, on a lower simmer. Because we don't want it too scalding hot just yet. So that was a 1/4 cup of an onion powder that I pre-measured. And I got some granulated garlic here because a little garlic isn't too much. There's 1/2 teaspoon. I'm going to do 2/2 teaspoons, so I'm doing a full teaspoon of a granulated garlic. And I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. There's that. And he's getting that mixed in. We got a minute left on the pasta here. And of course, black gold. 1/4 teaspoon of black gold. There we go. Just keep mixing. You're doing good, Charlie. Give my pasta a quick stir here. Got about 20 seconds. So what I got in the Cuisinart is just a little grater attachment on the stick. Hook that on, get it set up. There we go. Sometimes I forget how this works. It's a little old school. And we want to get our cheese set up, and there's the pasta ready. So get that prepared. Grab the pasta here. Turn my beeper off so it doesn't keep yelling at me. It's hard to judge exactly how much time it takes to boil the pasta here, because this stove, sometimes it scalds hot and other times it barely cooks. So only been waiting 2 weeks now for the new one. So pretty much got all my pasta out at this point. Now I only cooked this for about 10 minutes, even though it said 11 minutes for al dente. But once again, we're gonna, finish cooking this in the pasta. Let's try it in the cheese sauce. We're gonna finish cooking this in the cheese sauce. I want to make sure we get some of that water out of this too. I got about a cup of it scooping like that. So we'll set that there. Get that off the burner into the back there. All right, you ain't gotta stir so quickly that you're doing that, buddy. Okay. All right, got that all set up, and here we go. Just that quickly. Got some grated cheese, and we're gonna put the rest in here and do the rest of it now. There we are. Nice, quick grated cheese. It's not perfectly grated, but it's grated enough for this incorporation at this point. Set that there. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit, kiddo. Just keep moving it, that way there it won't burn on us, alright? I'm going to start adding the cheese right in to melt it in. We want to get this melted in, and it's already smelling really good over here. Scrape all the little bits out of here. We don't want to waste anything if we can help it. You'll notice this doesn't fully grate everything perfectly, but you don't really need it to. You just need it to do it enough to incorporate it into your dishes. If I wanted perfect grated cheese, I'd do it by hand. In this case, or I could just, that's the other thing you could do, you could just buy it grated already if you wanted to. But you gotta be careful, because what they coat it with can make your sauces really, really thick. So, you gotta be careful getting the grated cheese, because they use a potato starch that they coat it with. There we are. Now I'm gonna start incorporating the grated cheese here as he stirs it in. You don't need a scoop like that, just stir it, buddy. Yep. There you go. Keep it moving. All we're going to do is get this incorporated in and get it melted nicely. And then we can see how thick our sauce is, because depending on how thick it is once I add the pasta in, determines how much of the pasta water I'm going to add into it to thin it out just a little bit, because that pasta is going to drink in the liquid as it finishes cooking. And you don't want this too thick, but you want it to coat the pasta and stick to it nicely.
So we're getting really cheesy.
Yep, that's what it's going to do. Keep stirring. Get around the sides and get it incorporated. Good, kiddo. Alright, do you want to mix in the pasta or do you want me to take over?
I will.
Okay. We're going to start adding our pasta in. Gently mix it in, kiddo. Not working for you? Here.
No, not much.
This is where you can start kind of scooping like so.
Oh.
And you can see how stringy and cheesy this is. And I actually think I really won't need a whole lot, but I am going to add a little splash here. Just like so. And that's probably a couple tablespoons of pasta water. Just because the starch in the pasta water is going to help stick to the pasta. It's still on simmer, right, kiddo? Yep, it is. You moved just enough I could see it. There we are. You want to grab a bowl to bowl some of this up? There we are. This is coming along very nice here. Pasta's soaking up that liquid, drinking it all up nicely here. And this is one of those things that the longer it sits, the thicker it gets at this point. Because like I said, that pasta is just absorbing all this excess water. And another thing you can do, alrighty.
Top one's mine.
Okay. So the other thing you can do with this is at this point, if you wanted to, you could put this in a baking dish and then take some of those French fried onions over top of it and stick it under the broiler and let it get a nice, crispy top. Even if you wanted to do that, you could even, keep some of the cheese aside, sprinkle the cheese over top, then the crispy fried onions, stick it under the broiler till those onions are like golden brown and you got ooey gooey cheesiness going on there. And you can make it a baked dish at this point. But we're just going to do it like this because we're not looking to get all that fancy today. Just giving you the basics on it. How I make my sauce. Now, obviously, like I said, I cheated by using the jarred sauce there. The other thing you could do is you could start with a bechamel, which is, some butter and flour. Get that in there, get your roux going really good. And then you probably need about a quart of milk, and that'll start your sauce. And then you'll probably need an extra 8 ounces of cheese to add to that. And that'll really get you to this point. So if you're going to do that, I would recommend whatever cheese you want, really. It don't matter. If you want to put a 8-ounce block of pepper jack in it at that point, add an extra level of cheese, you could. But this is plenty cheesy enough, and with that sharp cheddar in there, it really comes through. And then I got the double cheddar from the ragu that I put in here. So this is really a really cheddary sauce. And heavy on the onion powder, because you'll find it really gives it a good flavor when you do that. And this is almost right at the point that I want it. Just got to go a little bit longer here. I'm going to bump up the heat a little bit and keep moving it. You definitely want to keep moving it. Don't let it just sit here, because if it sits and scalds, it's no good. It's going to taste burnt, probably. You don't want it to scald on you. So it's not, this isn't Kraft mac and cheese by any means. It's so much better than that. But it's still, a fairly quick dish. As long as you get the pasta going in a timely manner, you can pretty much go right from the pot into here with the pasta without any problems. And you can see it's just kind of bubbling and simmering. Just keep on mixing. And this is a nice, long pasta, so it coats very nicely. And if you don't want like a loose sauce like this, cut back a couple ounces on the milk. it'll make it a little bit thicker too. But I was trying to go for more of a creamy style sauce here, which is why I did it this way, because this way here, when it sits, you know, it'll thicken right up. I'm going to go ahead and cut the heat off on this. Let this sit just a couple minutes here. You know, finish soaking this in. It smells terrific, by the way. And this is one of our favorites. Now, at this point, I almost think we could use a little pop of color maybe. So, if you wanted a little pop of color, if you got some dried chives around, sprinkle a little of the green chives in there. Boom, done. Or parsley, you know. You don't need a whole lot, just a little bit, and that'll add some color to this and really green it up. But me, I'm kind of digging the yellowness of the cheese here. And even though I put that, you know, white cheddar in there, it's still pretty yellow because of the jarred sauce we used. So it's pretty good. You ready to taste it? Now, bowl it up for you a little bit here, kiddo. How much you want? One more scoop. There we are. You gonna try it on camera? Or are you just gonna grab it and run? Don't burn yourself. He's just gonna grab it and run. No problem. I'll put a little bit in the bowl here and I'll try it on camera for you. Told you to blow on it. Need some water?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, this is good.
You're right, Shiloh. That is good. Just the right amount of chew to that pasta. It's not overcooked. It's not mush at all. So, thanks for tuning in to Tye Food. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Comment underneath. Let me know what you think. And don't forget the little bell to click on so it'll notify you when I upload a new video. Facebook is Tye Food. I got a group on there. I post things quite often. Also on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.